Good afternoon. My name is Sukhdeep. Today we're going to present our assignment on the module Management Simulation Research Project. Our team members are Satnam, Shiraz, and Sebin. The question which we have took is, why are people fussed about diversity? Does it matter? Is it a social issue or a business issue? Should we legislate to insist that 50% of the senior management of organizations are female, and across the whole of the population, there is also a large ethnic percentage? First of all, I would like to start with the meaning of the diversity. Basically, it refers to the inclusion of people from different genders, ethnicities, and backgrounds in all areas of society, especially in leadership and decision making roles. It matters because it promotes fairness, reflects the makeup of society, and helps address historical inequalities. From a social perspective, diversity supports equal opportunity and justice. From a business perspective, diverse teams are shown to be more innovative, better at problem solving, and more successful financially. Some argue that laws should require a certain level of diversity, like 50% of the women in senior management, while others believe roles should be filled purely on merit. The debate continues over how best to achieve fair representation without creating unintended consequences. Next slide, please. In the UK, diversity in senior leadership remains limited. According to the Office for National Statistics 2023, only 4.6% of top level positions are held by Black individuals, and women occupy just 35% of these roles. This imbalance reflects broader systematic obstacles such as prejudice, occupational segregation, and restricted access to leadership pipelines. These barriers often prevent qualified individuals from underrepresented groups from advancing to higher positions. Diversity is not only a matter of fairness but also enhances business performance. Studies shows that leadership teams with varied backgrounds are more innovative, make better decisions and deliver stronger organizational outcomes. In response to slow progress, some researchers and policymakers advocate for legislative measures to enforce minimum representation standards and drive faster change. To fully understand these issues, two key theoretical frameworks are helpful, which are social stratification theory, which explains how societal structures create and maintain inequality across class, gender, and race. Another one is stakeholder theory, which highlights the importance of including diverse voices in leadership to better reflect and serve a broad range of interests and communities. Improving diversity in senior roles is both a social necessity and a business advantage, and may require stronger policy support to overcome embedded structural barriers. Next slide, please. This research focuses on evaluating whether increasing diversity in senior management, specifically achieving 50% of female representation and greater ethnic diversity, is a social responsibility or a business necessity within the UK financial sector. It also examines current representation using UK Census 2021 data and explores how diversity affects both organizational performance and social equality using both the theoretical frameworks, which was stakeholder theory. By analyzing these factors through real world case studies, the study aims to determine whether government legislation is needed to enforce diversity targets. The ultimate goal is to provide well informed recommendations that balance economic benefits with social justice. Now, my friend would take it forward.
Yeah. The literature review is theoretical and empirical about how to have an understanding of diversity in senior management. Turner 2025. highlights the development of UK corporate governance aimed at ensuring that all the stakeholders have their interests considered, and this is an issue that has resulted in diversity as an utmost value. Diversity as the part of the aspect is also revealed to contribute to the financial effect on our organization, particularly through industry for charges. Social stratification theory is used to define how ethnic minorities are restricted in the area of upward mobility through the stratification of occupation. Intersectionality theory sheds light on the intersectional disadvantages of women of color in general, and Martin's caution against tokenism, namely project of diversity, when the inclusion level is purely superficial in nature. The article by Zhang, etc., proves the various leadership is associated with better as performance, which spot is social and business arguments concerning a charge. Next slide, please. The literature review is theoretical and empirical. The project is based on a scanty analysis of quantitative data of the annual population survey provided by the Office for National Statistics. The APS gives longitudinal and UK representative labor market data dating back to the year 2004, which enables the robustness of trend analysis. To ensure confidentiality as well as data integrity, the number of respondents who took part in the study and responded less than three times and omitted and noted percentage are rounded, as suggested by D and Koch Leongi. The data are broken down according to the ethnic group and the occupation role that offer a state of analyzing socioeconomic trends in an explicit way. Confidence intervals are used by statistical analysis to provide reliability. The theoretical basis of the approach can be found in the hypothesis of social stratification and intersectionality that justify evidence informed suggestion to take legislative measure. Please, next slide. In the UK corporate world, it is evident that there are significant disparities in opportunities to senior positions. According to APS 2021 statistics, the proportion of professional employees in the UK workplace is 25.7%. Nonetheless, the difference are also critical as 39.8% of Indian workers have senior job whereas only 4.6% of black jobs. The British population is 18% made up of ethnic minorities, but they are still under-suspended is the top of their organizations, particularly beyond London. Diversity UK 2020-23, despite the win of women occupying 43% of FTSE 350 board positions, 35% of women end up in leadership positions. CMI 2020-22, the obstacles that still persist may be unequal education opportunities and work bias leads 2020-22. The input of black workers is far above proportion in elementary positions, 13.2%, indicating a broader socio-economic disparity. These facts imply that legislative change is necessary to spot structural change about leadership diversity. Now my topic is end and my other partner start.
Hello, my name is Satnam Singh. and I'll share my some slides. Like my first slide is theoretical frameworks. The data analysis relies on a number of theoretical frameworks to the various diversity. According to the social satisfaction theory, 13.2% of black workers are on elementary jobs and only 4.6% are senior jobs, which shows the efficient systematic execution 2021 and 2023. Indian workers are more professionally represented 39.8% than Pakistani and Bangladesh workers 21.9%. The theory can be used to explain it as, in many cases, it is caused by the differences in access to education. The theory emphasizes the groups of women of color are the most underprivileged as they make up only 2.9% of boards in the PTSE 350 in 2020. The logic of stakeholders theory is a strong business case of the profitability of a diverse lending firms increased up by 36%. And I'm moving to the next slide. Please, moving the next slide. And the next slide is finance sector. Barclays has also improved in ethnic diversity, but there are still challenges in their sector, which is represented in the finance industry. As per the APS 2021, employees of Indian origin make up 20.2% of the workforce, whereas Black non-Europeans comprise just 4% with the help of unconscious bias and the training. Barclays has increased its ethnic minority leadership by 10% since 2018. The percentage of female managing directors has not increased and it's stagnant at 30% short of the desired 30%. And the 33% such as equality indicates the importance of diverse and the leadership that is the most essential to innovation and customer engagement, which is supported to the stakeholder theory at the 2021. And please the next slide. I'm moving the next slide is Standard Chartered. Ethnic minorities in the UK direction are making up only 6% of the directors in the UK financial sectors, even though these groups make up 18% of the UK population and 2023 diverse UK and 2023. Standard Chartered has achieved significant progress in enhancing ethnicity leadership, namely, and the percentage of the ethnic minorities in senior position notably increased by 8% points of 2019 and 2021. Also, there are 46 percentage of women as leaders in the bank and 85% of the workers declare an inclusive culture of the organization in 2024. There is a problem of the gender representation with the 14 female chairpersons out of the 249 financial institution CMI and 2020-22. And the intersectionality theories implies that the BM womb encounter specific, unknown, cross-cutting and obstacles to leadership because they are unvaluable to recycle and gender discrimination and the Yadav and Lanka 2020. Thank you, and hand over to my friend. His name is Seven.
Hello, I'm Seven. I'm going to talk about some positive effects of current and barriers of to senior leadership, diversity, and leadership teams help the business to do better. The research shows that the company with more diverse leaders are 36% more profitable and have 20 more innovations, as per McKinsey 2023. When there is a mix of genders in a company board, there are less misconduct of better company decisions. Inclusion also attract the talents. 67% of job seekers care a lot about diversity when it comes to choose a job. However, there are still big challenges. Around 79 of HR professionals admit that bias still affect hiring. Also, only 2.9 of FTSE 350 board members are women of color. Half of the retail workers says their company doesn't have a diversity seriously. In the next slide, we are going to talk why senior diversity is a business must in the UK. Senior level diversity is not a good to have it, it is a business need. Ethically, minorities and women are still underrepresented at the top, even through efforts have been made in challenges this. For example, in 2021, only 4.6 of black employees were senior role, even though 35% of top role were held by the women and women make up nearly half of the workforce. So, what's holding the process back? Issues like job segregation, unleveled education, and discrimination are major blocks. Even though the banks like Barclays and are improving in hiring ethnic minorities leadership, they are still only have 30% of women in their top rank. This shows voluntary goals aren't enough. To real move forward, we need a strong law that empowers the companies to include more both ethnic minorities and women in serial law. Next slide, we are what we recommend is to the government of UK to do is to make the real change in UK government should require companies to report their ethnicity and disability payback, just like they already do for gender payback, which work well with over 10,000 companies. There should be also be mandatory reports that exclude executive levels so we get a full picture of especially including the intersectional data and race and the gender affect the people together, setting the diversity targeting like a 50 percentage of female. And these are the some recommendation we have find from sources. And thank you.